What if I told you that there's a new tool that can turn any content like videos, books, articles into personalized language learning material? And it can even generate an interview-style podcast. Well, keep watching and I'll show you in this video. You might have heard of linguist Stephen Krashen's I+1 theory. The idea that we learn best when we're exposed to language that is slightly above our level. That's also what's known as comprehensible input. But sometimes it's hard to find the right material for your level. So here's a solution, thanks to Google's AI tool, the new NotebookLM. This is not sponsored by Google. I mean, I wish, but I just thought that this would be very useful to share with all of you. And if you pair this with our language player tool, it becomes a very effective way to learn languages. Since we teach Chinese here, I'll show you how to use these tools to effectively learn Chinese. Let's go. Okay, so here I'm on the landing page of NotebookLM. The first thing you gotta do is log into your Google account and then change the settings, output language, and in this case, I'm gonna do Chinese, 中文简体. They have, I think, 50 languages. Hopefully they'll have more in the future. The first example I want to do is 西游记. Let's say you're, playing that really popular game from last year, 悟空 Black Myth. And it got you interested in the backstory. It's a very famous classic Chinese literature, 西游记, or Journey to the West. You can actually find this book on our language player app under reading and then books. And there are hundreds of books that you can choose from in Chinese thanks to Project Gutenberg. As I said, these are very difficult for Chinese learners, so you'll definitely need extra help to understand them. So here, the first one here is 西游记. Read on Gutenberg here, copy the URL, go back to NotebookLM, under Sources, add source. Here you can add so many different kinds of sources. For example, PDF, text, markdown, audio files, images, Google Documents, Google Slides, website links like article, YouTube videos, or you can just paste in whatever text you have. So in this case, I'm going to do a website link, and I will paste in the Gutenberg URL that I just copied. And you notice I have a bunch of other sources here too. By using this search function, discover sources, using AI to search for different sources across the internet. And I want to showcase the most interesting feature, the one that everyone talks about. It's this one right here, audio overview. This will pretty much generate like a very natural and realistic interview style podcast with two people or two AIs. The only downside with the audio overview is the free version, you can only generate like 3 audios or 3 to 5 audios per day, which is quite limited. And here's what it sounds like.
所以就定了同音的孙这个姓。
哇，原来光一个姓孙里面就有这么多道家的想法。那名字呢？悟空呢？
这个悟是祖師给他们那帮徒弟排的。
You can use it to generate a mind map. Now, this is pretty cool, right? Because this is such a complicated or advanced level material, you can ask it to keep it simple. You can say that I'm a beginner level Chinese student, keep it simple and concise. Generate a briefing doc, explain the plot and key characters and theme. So then you can copy this and then go to our language player reader tool, which is free, and then you can paste that in. And now you can study the text using pop-up annotations. So this is in a much easier, simpler language. Honestly, I think this is more like HSK 3 or HSK 4. Yeah, anyway, so now you can see the 故事大纲情节. This is like the plot, the overall plot of 西游记, of Journey to the West. 主要角色. And if you don't know what 角色 is, this is a HSK5 word, the role or character. If you don't know, you can save it. Here it talks about the theme, 主题. If you don't know what that word is, save it. And then now with all the saved words, you can go to your dictionary, more, my words, and now you can review all these words that you've saved. You can export them to CSV and then import them to an Anki deck if you like. For beginner to intermediate level students, I think it's a good idea to find study material that are easier for you to understand, like specially made for students. You can use the Slow Chinese series that I'm doing right now, and I imported the latest episode of the Slow Chinese, which is talking about the Chinese delivery drivers. And if you're studying HSK 5 or 6 with us, you can actually import the text from the HSK textbook. So in the lesson, I will provide you these text. This is lesson 1 of HSK 6, and you can copy it and then, paste it in. Again, I generated a little podcast.
关键是他们开始背后议论人了。
哦，聊什么呢？
一会儿说不喜欢谁，因为那个人只跟穿得漂亮的同学玩，还嘲笑别人；一会儿又说讨厌另一个，因为那个人最会讨好老师。
哎呀，这可让旁边听着的父母，大吃一惊了。
是啊。
And this is very useful because you can tell it to give you a list of HSK 6 words with definitions and examples and also the idioms and chengyu. And here it is, like 巴不得, 爽快, 省心. I have a bunch of like prompts that I prepared. For example, for a podcast here, I could enter this prompt to generate like a vocabulary teaching focused podcast, listening focused podcast, or like an extended focused, which is more like, oh, what do you think of this? Or have you seen this happen in real life? Like more critical thinking style conversations. And then here with the prompts that I give into the chat, I can ask it to generate like HSK 6 level words or idioms or chengyu, explain them, and give example sentences like here. And I can also ask it to generate like an entire passage or rewrite an entire passage with a different story, but using all the same HSK words from the original passage. And it did exactly that. So this is a completely different story using the same HSK keywords. And I can copy this story and then go back to language player and study this completely new story. So then now you have different context, or you can see these words in different context. And finally, with HSK 6, you can ask it to generate like a writing and speaking practice plan. So something like, what kind of talking points can you talk about here with the first lesson? And with an essay, what topic, what requirements, 要求, or what kind of content you can write about based on this lesson. All right, so now I want to show you how to find good Chinese sources or material to study from. First of all, I recommend searching with Baidu. This will give you all the results in Chinese. You can also just, search on Chinese news websites. For example, Sohu, SOHU.com. This is a pretty big one. This article about AI popped up. Another website I love is Zhihu. This is like Reddit or Quora. And you can find so many different articles on this website covering pretty much every topic that you can think of. Another great source of content is YouTube. You can find all kinds of videos like documentaries, long form videos. For me, I love, true crime, mystery videos. So these are some of the channels that I follow and I watch quite frequently. For example, this YouTuber, I love his videos. As you can see, I've pretty much seen every single upload that he's put up. If you find these kind of videos interesting, you can also study them using NotebookLM. So another popular creator is Li Yongle 老师. He does a lot of science, logic, math lectures. He has tons of videos covering so many different topics. But if you're like a beginner or intermediate level students, I think you can, use study material made by teachers. Like, for example, here, this is like a playlist that I made on Chinese 0 to Hero with all the slow Chinese videos I've done covering all kinds of topics in China, like Chinese culture, society, technology, stuff like that. So if you find these videos, these are easier to understand because they're meant for learners. They're made for learners. So you can copy these and then paste it into NotebookLM as well and study them. So yeah, that was an overview of NotebookLM, a really powerful and useful tool, AI tool to learn languages. I mean, you can learn pretty much anything, it doesn't have to be languages. So if you find this video helpful, let me know in the comments down below if you have any tips, suggestions, advice on if there's any other better ways to use this tool, or if you have any other tools that you recommend as well. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.